On the 30th of January, which is less than 1 month into the year, it was announced that parts of London had already exceeded their air pollution limits for the entire year. According to UK law, air pollution monitoring stations are set a limit, so they can't exceed more than 200 micrograms of nitrogen oxide per cubic metre more than 18 times a year. And I don't know about you, but that can seem a little bit abstract, especially when we can't see or feel air pollution. So behind me is an art installation which has simulated the air pollution in 5 different cities around the world. It was commissioned by the Somerset House courtyard, and we are off to meet the artist Michael Pinsky to find out a little bit more about it.
It's very hard to change people's behaviour if the issue doesn't impact their everyday life. That then made me start to think about pollution because it affects me on a daily basis. And I thought I'd really like to use pollution as an artistic medium. So the first dome we enter will be Norway, and the air is really quite pure. But from then on, we go through various cities that suffer from all sorts of different types of air pollution.
So this is Norway.
Yeah, so this is based on the air quality in Tautra, which is... So we've taken out all the nitric oxides, carbon monoxide, large particulates. The air in here is very pure.
It is super clean.
The next room is London. And we should feel quite a big difference between the two.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's 2 different smells and they're alternating. So one is a kind of more of a pure diesel-y smell that you get from cars when you pass. And then the other one is a more fumey, smoky smell. Some people say they almost like this smell, but you can see after a while.
They're used to it.
They're used to it.
Yeah.
There are people coming, oh yeah, I love that, it's so London, it's so London, this smell. You know?
What is in this air that makes it different? What chemicals have been...
So the key thing in London is the nitric oxides, and it's an invisible killer. So it goes in through the lungs, but it actually damages your nervous system.
You can really smell the difference. It's a bit harder to take a breath.
It's
I
not...
could take a deep breath in that one quite easily.
So the next one is New Delhi. Not nice.
Yeah, no, that's really not nice. What's the difference about the air that we're in right now, which is pretty horrible?
So you still suffer from diesel pollution, but you also have the large and small particulates. So this is visible pollution.
Yeah.
They also burn their crops around the city. We get a lot of airborne pollution from that. So I've got the scent of burnt hay and grass in here. And another thing is they still burn rubbish.
And why can you see this pollution whereas we couldn't?
This is due to the large and small particulates. But you know, in some ways, at least when you can see it, you know it's there, and you can maybe move to somewhere that's less hazy.
It smells horrible in here.
So that woody smell is because in winter, they still use coal and wood to heat inside the houses. So then they have both indoor and exterior air pollution, which is really
double
bad.
whammy.
Double whammy. You should smell a kind of sulfuric undertone, underbelly to that.
And which one do you think is worst out of all of them?
Certainly New Delhi, normally.
We're going to go to the last room, which is... What smell something.
What can you smell?
I'm very good at identifying smells. It smells kind of, I don't know.
Because in São Paulo they use ethanol as their petrol source rather than diesel, then what you get when you use ethanol is a kind of vinegary, ethanol.
That's what it is, it's vinegar.
There's also quite high levels of ozone in here, so for some people it'll affect their eyes. But if it's just a cold day like 8, 7, 5 degrees and your eyes are watering, it's very likely there's a high level of ozone.
That's crazy, I didn't know. Actually, when I was outside all of these pods completely, I thought the air smelled quite clean, I thought it smelled really fresh. But coming in and experiencing London in this, I can see the differences in what I'm breathing in every day. You become slightly more sensitive to all of those smells. Despite the ringing alarm bells, there have been some positive changes to air pollution in London. Since 1999, road traffic has dropped by about 40%, and currently bikes are the dominant kind of transport at rush hour in the City of London, which is amazing. There's also been a rise in the use of electric cars, which we tried out in another vlog. And while this is all fantastic, a lot more still needs to be done. So we had a look at Michael's top tips for improving your air quality. You might not think it, but when you're cooking, all of the smoke and the gases that you can smell can contribute to air pollution. So a good thing to do is to make sure you just have the windows open or put an extractor fan on when you're cooking. Air pollution is normally quite contained, so it's all in the roads where there's a lot of busy traffic. Just by walking one road over from the main road, you can save yourself a lot of exposure to harmful chemicals. Obviously, if there's another mode of transport that you can use other than a car, that's fantastic. Walking and cycling are brilliant ways of getting around. But if you have to use your car, then a good way of reducing emissions is to make sure that it's not idling when you're stuck at traffic lights or you're waiting to pick somebody up. So there we go. This was a really cool way of taking something like air pollution, which affects so many of us but is completely invisible and kind of difficult to understand, and making it really easy for us so that we can actually experience what it's like to live in all of those different cities. If you are affected by air pollution where you are and you have some amazing ideas on how we can start cleaning up our air, then let me know in the comments.